Hi everybody, today I'm gonna talk about Pamguard software to discuss about the efficiency, the accuracy, the precision of Pamguard detectors. Sorry for my awful accent, I'm French, and I'm here to talk about two experiences, two times I met Pamguard detectors. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Olivier Dufour. I worked to automatic acoustic detection of patterns, particularly sounds of birds, terrestrial mammals, arthropods, particularly some insects. You will find the references of my PhD thesis in the description below. The most interesting part, the most exciting part of my PhD was to analyze automatically a big data of a big serial data of several hundreds of nights. It was data collected with SM2 autonomous recording units that Dr. Benoît Gineste and the Professor Mathieu from the island of the Réunion put in bird colonies very far from cities, very hard to reach, very hard to study because you have to do at least 4 hours of work each time you want to go to the colony. So I keep an eye on Pamguard solution since years because it's very interesting. Displayed objectives, displayed aims of this software are very interesting, but sometimes there is a very big difference between the premises, the theoretical aim, and the true results, particularly in automatic detection of patterns in data truly collected by standards microphone, hydrophone in real condition. You know the problems of low SNR, low bad signal to noise ratios, saturation problems due to winds or streams, etc., etc. My experience is partial and subjective. I'm not here to say I have a complete and exhaustive knowledge of Pamguard's performances. Okay, I just want to share 2 points because it was 2 bad experiences of Pamguard detectors, but concrete and true experiences. First of all, I made my PhD a big part of my PhD in a research and development department of one of the biggest environmental assessment company in France. I don't give the name because I don't want to give a bad image of this company, not particularly. That's not the aim of this video. But this company sell its skills and solution to make environmental assessments, inventories, monitoring of abundance of several wild fauna species, etc., etc. And they ask one of the salaries, one of its employees, to take some responsibility of and to build an automatic detectors of cetacean sounds. People who made his PhD in ichthyology. I won't give the name of the persons, of course. I don't want to hurt them, to do something bad for their reputation, but it was no problem. It was a very hard-working, no doubt it was a hard-working person, but when you don't have the skills in acoustic signals and in machine learning, even if you are hardworking and honest, doesn't mean you're going to produce an efficient work, particularly when you don't have the control. When you use the software, you lose a part of the control of the scripts, of course, my point of view. Then this company, this A company, worked with another partner, a B company. A B company is a full acoustic specialist company. B company never worked with biosignal, with signal and sounds produced by cetaceans, but they are true acoustic specialists. Then these two partners and other, they received big funds to analyze data collected in by hydrophone, by autonomous recording units in Indian Oceans. And the A company received funds to produce the automatic detection of cetaceans and to plot some monitoring of the results, to plot some results of acoustic abundance, particularly to assess the environmental impact of human activities, human constructions, And I'm here to share some preoccupating, some worrying thing that the A company, this employee of the A company, he built automatic detectors on a first pool of data. He trained, he made some crossover tests. I don't know in details how he did that, and I'm worried about that because when you don't have specialists in machine learning applied to acoustic automatic analysis, I don't see how even with an excellent software, you can build something robust and strong. And what should happen happened finally. They had detection models which seems to be pretty good on the first datas, and when they received the B data, the results, the recordings to analyze, they noted that performance of the models were very, very bad and current, and then they had a very bad problems because they received money to do a job they could not. And last but not least, the results of the detectors was so bad that this employee of this company A, he proposed to his hierarchy directors of the A company to ask the B company to give the detection results of the detectors, the click detectors, the click of cetacean detector that B company produced of this side, because B company, they are acoustic specialists. Then they don't know cetaceans, but they are pretty much good to go in details in acoustic data to make the difference between a non-cetacean click, a direct, a peak of energy in all frequencies ranges, and whose origin is anthropogenical, and direct of cetacean. So the A companies that used during several weeks Pamguards to build detectors, they finally put the detector in trash, and they asked to the B company, which is not user of Pamguard software and even absolutely not specialist of acoustic biosignal and not automatic detectors specialists, to provide their own detector, which is pretty sensitive things to do, okay? Because A company was supposed to do the job. When you say to the B company, I'm not able to do this, please give me what you did. Now I'm going to talk about the second case. I worked with Pamguard detectors. The first part, it was in 2019 during my PhD thesis. I wasn't concerned directly because I was working on automatic detectors of bird sounds, insect sounds, terrestrial, and I was just next to the employee of the A company, and I was more or less kept aware, updated of the evolution of these projects a very important project for a company on a financial point of view. The second occasion was was very recent. It was in September 2019. So just forget the stories of A company and B company because I'm gonna reuse it. So the A company is now a company that sell a solution which is more or less an aquatic drone. I won't give more details, not to give bad images of companies. Of course, I'm sure they work hard, they deserve to be respected and not to be shot. And the E company, so they sold, these drones with an hydrophone and with a data acquisition system, including automatic analysis, to a big company. And then the big company, they used it to record several days in ocean and to obtain some results what cetaceans were present. And the big companies, they give a C company, they give to a C company the results of detections and the recordings, and they said, please evaluate performances of the solution that A company sold to me. And the C company asked me to make a part of the assessment. Before I say the bad results I assessed, I evaluated, I computed, let me remind that a particular point on this system is that hydrophone was not very depth. The length of the cable between the drone and the hydrophone was not very long. Then the hydrophone was pretty much close to the surface, which is pretty rare, pretty unadvised, which is hard. It's a hard condition. It's a hard problems because when the hydrophone is close to the surface, you have many parasite sounds coming from the areas. You have many problem of reflection and refraction on the surface. Usually during my PhD, all the sounds, the marine sounds I analyzed or I observed, the hydrophone was at least at 30 meters of depth, or 50 or 70 meters, which is much better because you isolated from the parasite sounds coming from surface. And the more you go depth and the more you are going to lay of the ocean in which you can sample acoustic sounds of the sounds of cetaceans coming from far with a good SNR, signal to noise ratio. I have here the results of Pamguard automatic detectors. I will put all that in the description. I'm gonna talk about precision, accuracy in English, recall, and the harmonic mean of the both, Fscore, because to me Fscore is the most drastical value, but the most interesting, because Fscore is what allow you to see if your system is operational or not. So I'm gonna give you the performances for three types of detectors. The first detection problem is cetacean clicks. Is there clicks of cetaceans in such recordings, and when? The second question is whistles of cetacean. Is there whistles of cetaceans? In all cases, it can be whistles of several species or click of several species, but only cetacean species, not click of fishes or anthropogenic sounds, etc., etc. Whistles can be produced, of course, by several species of dolphins and even other species of cetaceans. And the third question is a mix of the two previous. It's the absence presence of cetaceans questions. Is there sounds of cetaceans of such recordings in such recording, and when exactly? I'm not going to explain what is precision accuracy because it's very well explained since a long time in the existing literature. If you want, I give you sources in the description below the video. I won't explain for the same reason what is recall. Fscore is not very hard to understand, it's just the harmonic mean of the recall and precisions. For click of cetaceans, the precision, the accuracy of Pamguard detectors was, I estimated to be 33%, the recall to be 22%, and the final is then 26%. For whistles, the accuracy precision was, I estimated to be 30%, the recall to be 90%, the F-score to be 16%. And for the question, the detectors of cetacean presence, absence, 40% of accuracy, 30% of recall, and 34% of F-score. I didn't explain how I computed these assessments. It's very simple. The C company hired someone, an expert, a specialist that manually labeled, noted each part of a recording, of all recording. Is there whistles? Is there buzz? Is there bursts? Is there click of cetacean or anthropogenic origin click, etc., etc. So I compared the difference of prediction between the specialist manual, the man specialist labeling, and the prediction of the Pamguard detectors. And I have to say that there was some unusual parasite sounds, particularly volcano sounds, which is not sounds I much observed in the many recordings I studied during my PhD, but volcano sounds are not so much rare in not that much exceptional in oceans of the world, of course, but it's pretty much tough part of the world. There is much anthropogenic sounds in this part of the world, but as you can see, you can't say these detectors are operational. I was pretty badly surprised by performances of Pamguard detectors, and it's more or less a confirmation of something I assessed myself. I was waiting, particularly because of the first experience, and it was pretty much a confirmation. I was waiting for bad results, but not that much bad results, because the A company is supposed to be a specialist company. It was not supposed to be as bad as the first experience. The first time I heard about the Pamguard detectors in the other company I talked previously. So let me remind, I'm not here to say bad things about Pamguard detectors. It's a reason why I don't give name of a persons. I'd like to precise that my experiment and my discussions with ornithologists and my lectures of the existing literatures indicate clearly that even if you don't have a good accuracy of your detectors, if you have a good recall, it's a good progress. Your F-score will be bad, but if you have a good recall, it means that your detectors allow you to do a big part of the job. Okay, if the recall is good, it means that the detectors doesn't forget any once of the interesting sounds. If you have a bad precision and a good recall, it means that all recordings won't contain the sounds of the species you want to study, but at least none of the sounds are lost. If you recall of whistles, dolphins whistle detection is good, close to 99%, 95%. It means you can use your detectors to separate the interesting sounds from all over what remains, all other recordings, which is a very good time earnings. You save much time. It's a beginning of operationality. Okay, but in this case, you can see we have 22%, 19%, 30% of recall. We can't say anything with that. We can't do anything with that. So I wanted to advise the biologists all over the world about the problem. This problem I noted with Pamguard, but it again, it's not a. I don't pretend to be exhaustive. It's a partial experience. I'm a type of people that write itself its algorithm. I work particularly with MATLAB. But I know that you have, by instance, Dan Stroell from London Queen University that work much with Python. You have Jérôme Sueur, professor from the National History Museum in Paris that much work with R. I think we are still in a configuration where it's more relevant, it's more efficient for biologists to go to write, to learn new skills in writing algorithms and in numerical acoustic analysis with script than using with Pamguard. It's a feeling I have, and I want to. I'm currently not in laboratories of universities since years because I have another sources of money. I don't live with salaries found, and I have more freedom to speak directly with people. And there is I don't know how it is in all over the world, but in France there is it's very badly seen to see, okay, this partner provide system and solutions that are not good enough. It's not that simple because in research, in conservation field, everybody has to work with everybody, because we have to be together to receive funds. Because when you have supposed specialists of several fields, the money giver, the financial point is more easily convinced, okay, your project is serious because you have different laboratories of universities in different fields, because you have association, because you have private companies specialized in these fields, etc., etc. And the big problem is that if one of the partners clearly identify a problem, it doesn't have the freedom to say straightly to the others, or it can be officiously, but not officially. And even if it is a concurrent company, I don't know if this word exists in English, a concurrent company, because a company who's your concurrent now, the next year maybe you will try to obtain thousands of dollars with the help of this company in the conservationist and research field. Time are very long, so you don't shoot on people even if they are doing bad jobs that much easily. Sorry if I shock some people, but it's my vision of the problem. I don't pretend to know everything. Surely I don't know everything, but I don't want, and I want to protect the biologists. I don't know how machine learning algorithms are done. I want to protect and to advise biologist patient from the reality of some informatics solutions. I think it's pretty good to communicate. I hope this video will be useful to the knowledge of the scale of the world and to everybody, give some information to do advised choices. If you liked it, please let help Sams. I propose you to subscribe to this channel and let me know all your questions in the description below the video. You will find, of course, my email, professional email, if you want to go more in details. And you will find references of my thesis, PhD in the description too, and the results too.